The Contraption by K.V. Wilson. Chapter 1. The Cousin. Russell Cornelius Brattle pulled out his father's watch from the pocket of his second-hand suit and allowed himself a smile. Just on time. He'd always ever been just on time. If I make use of the early hours, he thought, I'll have it working again in a jiff. A horrid clunking noise shook the boy from his thoughts. When he regained his composure, he cursed his terrible luck. Such a clumsy clunk could only mean one thing, and he didn't much like the thought of it. "Ag, I know you're here," Russell whispered, his eyebrows drawn together into a tight frown. "I told you not to sneak in again." A giggle echoed across the room. "You'd better not try anything. I mean it." She chuckled. "Stop being a stick in the mud, Rusty. Just need to make an adjustment." Russell narrowed his eyes. "What did you do now?" "Just dented it a smidge. Agatha." Russell lifted the candle and scanned the room. He caught a glimpse of his cousin's head of messy, dirty blonde locks. She was 6 years younger than he, a small and delicate girl of 10. She still had the baby cheeks and spunk to show for it, too. Agatha shrugged off the torn overcoat that had once belonged to her father. With some effort, the girl shoved up the sleeve of her coral dress, gritting her teeth as a blood-stained bandage caught on the linen. "Ugh," she grunted. "Think we can pound it back into shape?" Russell sucked air through his teeth. "Ag, I don't have time for this. I have to finish tonight or Barkley's going to stumble in on this." He spread his arms wide, stepping back so Agatha could see the damage she'd wrought. Russell had been slaving away at the machine in the back room for nearly a fortnight. He had the tailpiece finished. All that was left was to attach it. The machine itself, which Russell affectionately called the Contraption, spanned roughly 5 feet long and 3 feet wide. It was approximately the size of one of the motor cars Russell often saw bumbling down Main Street. Such technology seemed rather cutting edge, however, and it puzzled Russell as to how this machine seemed to be so old and beaten up already. Russell had never seen Barkley use it before, and frankly, if the master tinker knew that Russell had been handling it, he'd kick the boy's sorry arse back onto the street before you could say, "Don't press the big red button." Not that there was any danger of that. Russell had been contemplating such a button ever since he first laid eyes on the Contraption, and the mere thought of putting his finger anywhere near it gave him the chills. "I'm sorry," Agatha pouted. "I never should have let you in here," Russell sighed, scratching his head. His cousin smiled wildly, snatching a pair of Barkley's goggles from the hook on the wall and ignoring the acrid stench of whiskey emanating from the tankard on the bench. The master tinker had yet to clear his workspace of mold and gunk, despite the fact that he would be having patrons arriving later that day. Patrons who would be here to take a look at the Contraption. If Russell couldn't fix it in time, Barkley would find out. The tinker would not only withdraw the boy from his apprenticeship, he would have Russell's hide.